Hi everybody, welcome to Zombie Army 4 and my new review of this game in the Zombie Army series. Now if you're unfamiliar with Zombie Army, or maybe even Sniper Elite, they kind of run parallel to each other. Sniper Elite is the games from Rebellion which are a lot more serious. Sniper Elite 3 and Sniper Elite 4, they're kind of sort of open world, well they're kind of big sandbox levels where you can go around attacking different targets, and it's set during the Second World War, and it's semi-serious. It's kind of action comics, commando comics, kind of serious. They're based around ideas of things that happened at the time, and done in a semi-serious way. However, with the Zombie Army games, we've got an alternative history where, at the end of the Second World War, knowing that he was losing, Hitler turned his armies into the undead, and then Karl, who's the main character in the Sniper Elite games as well, then had to fight his way across Germany and take out the threat of a zombie Hitler. And Zombie Army 4 carries on with that storyline where Hitler has been banished, however the undead still roam the streets, but recently, at the beginning of the game, they've got organised again and they've started attacking the resistance, and you've got to go and find out what is going on. And the first thing I'd say is, if you really enjoy Sniper Elite and if you really enjoy Zombie Army Trilogy, which I do, this is definitely, you should probably have this game already and you should be playing it because it is very, very good. But for everybody else, let's go through a few of the things. So graphically wise, I think it looks great. The lighting is good. It's using the Sniper Elite engine from Sniper Elite 4, probably a little bit modified. It's very the environments are suitably creepy and eerie and destroyed, and some of it is a bit breathtaking. Sometimes it looks a little bit basic, but around say Karl's character and some of the other characters as well, when you kind of look at their faces, but that's not what we're here for. Sound wise, the sound is always good in the Zombie Army games. The music is super cool. It's like this John Carpenter-esque synth music, Escape from New York, that kind of feel. And you've got the moans and the groans and the zombies. Sometimes I think Rebellion could do a little bit better with their with the way that they sample or create the gun sounds. I think sometimes they're a little bit too maybe metallic and high pitched, that they could be lower and thumpier, I think. But that's just a finicky thing. The gameplay in Zombie Army 4 is very similar to Zombie Army Trilogy, and quite different from Sniper Elite 3 and Sniper Elite 4 in the fact that what you do basically in Zombie Army 4, it's a linear corridor shooter with horde mode moments. So here, for example, I'm in a horde mode moment where I'm trapped in an arena, and I've got to run around killing zombies until I fill up this blood fountain with their death essence, I guess. And often there'll be things like traps or environmental things that I can use to kill zombies as well. And then you'll have a corridor bit where it'll be fairly tight, and you'll have to take on zombies. And it's refreshingly simple. Lots of people really enjoy Sniper Elite V2, myself included. I must admit I wasn't that enamoured with the remaster, because I felt it didn't do enough to adjust the problems with the original game. But when I first played it, it was really cool because it was a linear, again, virtually a corridor type shooter where all you do is you go from A to B to C to D, killing Nazis and German soldiers along the way. Whereas with Sniper Elite 3 and especially Sniper Elite 4, you've got these really massive levels where it's not always obvious what you've got to do next, and you've really got to think about it, which makes it which makes them really good. But it's nice to have a game where it's just A to B to C, but fun as well, because we know games like Call of Duty, often they'll be corridor type shooters, but their campaigns are often a little bit naff, to say the least. I know last year's one, Modern Warfare, was cool, but often they turn into grind fests. But because in Zombie Army we have this really cool gunplay, which I'm going to talk about next, it makes this style of gameplay really fun. So let's talk about the gunplay in Zombie Army, because this is what makes the game really. And when you're looking at it, you might well think, well, doesn't it get a bit repetitive, just killing zombies and special types of zombies all the time? And the answer is, you'd think it does, but because the gunplay is so good, it doesn't. And so you've got three basic types of weapons. You've got your sniper rifle, where you're engaging your zombies at range, and when they get too close, you've then got your submachine gun or shotgun, which you can then engage them at closer range, and then you've got your pistol, your weapon of last resort. Then you've also got explosives, so you've got grenades and you've got traps that you can put down. But because the sniping is so much fun, it's taking out zombies, and what they really updated for Zombie Army 4 and improved massively over Sniper Elite 4, Sniper Elite 3 and Zombie Army Trilogy, is the close range gunplay with the submachine guns and the shotguns and the pistols. They're now very effective up close, and not just a weapon, medium range as well, the submachine guns, and not just a weapon of last resort. You can very happily run through lots of the levels in Zombie Army 4 just using your machine gun, and it's very enjoyable. You seem to have a little bit more ammo. They don't run out of ammo quite so quickly, and there's more ammo around the levels for you to kind of to grab and use. A big part of this is that they've expanded the empty lung idea to your submachine gun or your shotgun and your pistol as well. So in Sniper Elite and in Zombie Army, when you're using your sniper rifle, if you tap on for example, the right shoulder button on the PlayStation or the Xbox, Carl, or the character you're playing, then takes a breath, slowly exhales, time slows down, and you get a little marker on the screen if you're playing at the sort of the standard difficulty levels that shows you where your shot will go, and you can headshot zombies or take out targets really easily. And you can normally do 2 or 3 over a couple of seconds. And then, but also, that's what you just saw there, they've added a similar mechanic to the submachine gun or shotgun and the handgun. So the one you saw there was the handgun version of it. And what happens is, when you get 10 kills with your handgun, you can then activate that skill where you just aim at 3 zombies and then pull the trigger, and then Carl will quickly headshot those zombies, bang, 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 and take them out, which is really cool. Now, what happens with the submachine gun or the shotgun when you're using that is it slows down time. And so you can go from headshot to headshot to headshot with your submachine gun shotgun, like bang, 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 bang. And it is so cool to do that when you're in a really tight situation. Your back is against the wall. You're not really sure how you're going to get out of this mess that you're in. You activate the kind of the slow-mo, and bang, 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 and you can kill all these zombies and you can get yourself out. Another couple of cool things they've added as well is there's a melee finish attack that you can do, which gives you more health. I think, does it give you more ammo sometimes? And then there's also, there's like a finishing move, and then there's a melee attack that you can change through perks. In this particular one, I think I've got the hammer. So you smash this hammer down on the ground, and it kind of kills a load of zombies, damages a load of zombies around you. So that is really, really fun. So although you're doing the same thing all the time, I mean, you're going through slightly different levels, you know, going to A to B to C, doing a horde mode, going from C to D, doing another horde mode, etc. Because this rhythm of gunplay, long range gunplay, changing into short range, change to up close to long range again, you know, it really mixes it up. And if you've ever seen my Zombie Army Trilogy review, you'll know that I kind of recommend you play these games in fairly small chunks. You know, play it for like half an hour, 45 minutes at a time, then go and do something else. Don't try and slog through like half of the game in one sitting, because then it does get boring. But otherwise, it really is fantastic. Progression as well is something they've added into Zombie Army 4. Where now it really is all about replayability through the campaign, through the story mode, or through the horde mode, because as you're playing, your character's leveling up, which gives them access to more perks, different perks as well. So things like better health regeneration, more grenade, better damage on your explosives, the ability to take less melee damage from zombies, you know, all the traditional types of perks. And as you level up more, you can have more of those perks active at the same time. Also, your levels, your guns level up as well. So as you're using the guns and getting more kills with them, you can then get things like more ammo. You get things like the like I'm probably about to activate it in a second. I forget what they call it, but you get this perk where you can slow time down. There's me using the hammer, trying to get out of a rather sticky situation there. And once that's active, and then you get things like I've got what's called, here we go. This is the slow-mo assault rifle skill. It is really, really cool to do. There you go, just activating that trap in the background. It's called the vampire scope. So every time I do a critical hit on a zombie, I get some health back, and normal other stuff. Like more damage, more explosive damage, and things like that. And it takes you quite a while to level up, and you'll want to level up, different characters. You'll want to level up. There's lots of different guns to use, and that will keep you coming back and playing the game, because you tend to find the gunplay in the Zombie Army games, and this applies to Zombie Army 4 as well, is so much fun that you want to go back and play it again and again and again. You'll see on the right hand side of the screen as well, you'll see you get the combination multipliers for the combo. So as you're killing zombies, if you can keep killing them and killing them and killing them, you get a multiplier on your score, which then allows you to level up faster. I'm not showing any footage of it here, but the horde mode is really cool as well in Zombie Army 4. Loads of replayability, and again adds another experience to the game. You can also play the game co-op with friends in the story and in the horde mode. And overall, as I said at the beginning of the video, if you really like Zombie Army Trilogy or Sniper Elite, this is the game for you. There's a couple of caveats. Well, there's a couple of things that I would like to see Rebellion change, I think, about Zombie Army 4 if they can. The first one is they need to turn up the amount of times that the X-ray cam comes on. So Sniper Elite is famous for the X-ray cam. So when you headshot a zombie or you shoot him in the ghoulies, you get the X-ray, the slow-mo bullet flying through the air, and it takes out the zombie. It's really rare for it to happen in Zombie Army 4. It used to happen all the time in Zombie Army Trilogy, and also it gives you a nice break in the gameplay. So when you're playing, and you get a really cool headshot that goes through 3 zombies at a time, you've got that second to go, oh yeah, that was cool, and then you're back into the action again. And it seemed to happen a lot less. I've been through the settings. I can't see an option to turn up the times it comes on, because you used to be able to do that as well. So I'd like to see that. The other thing I think they should do as well is look at the way that health regeneration works. So in Zombie Army Trilogy, when you were injured, you would automatically, over time, have automatic health regeneration to full health. That would happen. In the Sniper Elite series, you would carry med packs, and you would carry bandages, of which you could have several. So when you got injured, you would apply your bandages or apply the med kit, but you could have a few of those. However, in Zombie Army 4, they've done it the way that they did it in Strange Brigade, where you get a little bit of auto health recovery when you're very badly damaged, but the rest of it you have to use a first aid kit. But you can only carry one first aid kit at a time. And I think this really leads to situations where you'll have gone into a level maybe where you haven't got a first aid kit and you're low on health, and then you've got to take on a massive horde of zombies and you can't find another med kit, and it's not fun. And one thing that the Zombie Army game should always be is fun. So always give us the option, please, of adding the ability to carry multiple first aid kits or multiple med packs. That would solve the problem. Or why can't we go back just to have an option just to go back to automatic health recovery over time? When you're away from zombies after 5 seconds, all of your health recovers. Or maybe have it as a perk that you can choose, because again, I think that wasn't a fun thing. So there we go. So if you're a big fan of Sniper Elite or Zombie Army, Zombie Army trilogies, Nazi Zombie Army 1, Nazi Zombie Army 2, Zombie Army 4 is for you. You will enjoy this. Now, if you haven't really played those games before, but you're watching the gameplay and thinking, this looks brilliant, this is my cup of tea, again, I would say buy it, because you'll enjoy it. If, however, maybe you're the sort of person you look at and say, oh, it looks fun, but I've got some other games I'm playing at the moment, you know, but I wouldn't mind checking it out. I think one of the cool things about Rebellion games, and this goes for smaller developers, is when you discover one of their games, normally say when you buy it in a sale, and maybe you buy it because you just think, that looks cool, I don't really know what it's all about, but I'm going to buy it because it's cheap, and then you play it and it's amazing. When that happens, you're like, oh wow, you know, the game feels a lot better. So I would say if you're in that sort of situation, wait, because I know probably one of the reasons why I think that Zombie Army Trilogy is one of the greatest single-player games of all time is because when I bought it kind of off the whim. I thought, oh, that looks cool. I watched a bit of gameplay, I thought that looks good. And I paid like a tenner for it in the PlayStation sale. And then I played it and I was like, this is absolutely unbelievable. This is absolutely amazing. And the same thing happened for Sniper Elite 3 as well. I thought, oh, I'm not sure if I like this. And then it went in the PlayStation sale, I think I got it for like £15 or something. And then I was like, oh my gosh, where have these games been all my life? This is absolutely amazing. And so I have these massive soft spots for the likes of Sniper Elite 3 and Zombie Army Trilogy, and actually Sniper Elite V2, the original version, when I played it on the Xbox, because, you know, I picked it up second hand for like £5 or something from the local game store, and that worked very well that way. So bear that in mind. You know, if you're a little bit on the fence, it's okay. Just wait, get it when it goes down in the sale, and you'll play it and you'll be like, oh wow, this is amazing. Let me check out all the other Zombie Army titles, you know, Zombie Army Trilogy, Sniper Elite 4, Sniper Elite 3, even maybe Strange Brigade. And you can tell that I think Rebellion learnt a lot from Strange Brigade, and probably the criticisms they got about Strange Brigade, which was mainly, I think it was a little bit too arcadey and there wasn't enough sniping. Maybe that's the sort of thing they got. So anyway, there we go. Zombie Army 4. Highly recommended to fans of Sniper Elite and the Zombie Army series. Highly recommended to fans of zombie shooters and shooters in general. Really good game, looks great, plays great. The gunplay is fantastic. Just play it in small chunks, sort of half an hour, 45 minutes at a time, and you will have an amazing time fighting the Nazi undead horde. Anyway, that's enough for me. You put your comments down below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon.
Found the secret entrance, but the damn thing's blocked.
I imagine the way to open it is hidden somewhere in the graveyard. You should get looking.
Armored giant spotted. Too slow.